All right, enough of that, man. Once again, man, Flash speaks back. We already know what it is. This is post game, where we're going to deal with this game, and it's going to be something we have not done in a while, and that is lose. The Philadelphia Eagles today have had their 10th game or 10-game losing streak snapped. All right, and this happens at a bad time, where the Seattle Seahawks, I believe, just held on and won their. Minnesota Vikings just held on and won their game, and also Detroit Lions won their game. Now we're going to go into this here, and there's a whole lot to cover because when we look at it, it looks like, when you look at the points, Eagles were able to score 33 points, but I don't know. This is the first time I can say you got 33 points, and I can't tell you anyone played well, exceptionally well anyway. From the beginning of the game, we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts, of course. It looked like Saquon Barkley was on his way to 300 yards. So I thought, on one hand, okay, we're going to talk about Hurts. We see what happened with him. But Saquon to get 300 yards, we'll beat these guys anyway if the defense will hold up. But lo and behold, so much went wrong on that end as well. So we're going to go from the beginning. We start the beginning of the game, of course, where our defense just absolutely holds. First 3 and out. Washington couldn't get anything going at all. The Redskins were just trash in the beginning of the game. We get the ball, go right down the field, uncharacteristically right down the field. First, we see Marshawn Lattimore ready to get it on with A.J. Brown. That's the first thing you notice, that this was possibly going to be different, where Hurts goes long. And I like that. I respect the fact he went long, test Marshawn. Marshawn had good coverage that first time. And then he actually had 2 good plays. So Jalen, in order to loosen the defense up, he's running the ball, and we also run Saquon. And we end up really with the first time, you think this game's going to be different. We actually scored 7 points in the first drive. Damn, this game's going to be different. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, did that shit not last. So we go to our second drive here, and Jalen Hurts, I guess, reading the defense. I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt here. Washington playing a lot of man. That's what they were doing. And Jalen Hurts smartly decides to tuck and run a few times, with the exception that he didn't tuck and run smartly. So for me, the first person that I'm putting this loss on squarely, the first person, not the only, but the first person is square on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts. And I have to do that simply because of the fact that you're talking about him deciding to run the ball, and then when he did run, he doesn't protect himself. Now, the call, I believe, was dirty as hell. Jalen Hurts is going down. That was a situation where the number 4, whatever the hell his damn name is, he's mad because Jalen Hurts is gashing him. So it's a dirty hit, without a doubt. He seen him going down. Defenseless quarterback going down. Officials don't call it. Okay, whatever. But this has to serve as a lesson for Hurts, all right? Stop running so much. Just the first thing. Take the easy stuff. There was that time when he threw the pass away. He got pressure. He just throws the ball. There was maybe miscommunication. I'm just going to say he messed up and threw and got the 15-yard penalty, right, for grounding. On that same play, Devontae Smith is open, and I'm not one of these sticklers for every single thing, but I'm saying this is a situation where you're avoiding that situation because the third and long leads to him deciding to tuck and run. The tuck and run is what leads to him not protecting himself, taking that damn hit. And then now, we got Kenny Pickett in there, right? So he has to. This is the second time, where we're talking about week 13, week 14, like against the Bears a few years ago in 2022, he's running just too damn much. They call him too many quarterback screen draws. And, right, I get it. It is a man coverage beater, but it's dangerous. You have to be smart. If he's going to do it, you got to get out of bounds or you got to slide. All right, and hopefully this here just serves as a reminder that that's what the hell he has to do. So the first person I gotta put the blame on is Hurts, bro. We need you in the game. You can't go out there just playing reckless like that. That's the first thing. All right. Then after that happens, okay, Kenny Pickett comes in and he continues to drive, and we actually score. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Kenny Pickett is not a great quarterback by any means. He is not Jalen Hurts by any means. However, you figure a first round pick, you guys should have some ability to run just a functional offense. Assuming he gets the ball to the playmakers, and that Kellen Moore can call a good game. All right, so this is where I'm at, hoping that this happens here. This is pretty much drive 3. Okay, so after he scores there, we looking good. We're still shutting down Washington. They're still not doing anything at this point. Um, and then we have Kenny Pickett come in and show us exactly why we need Jalen Hurts. He comes and throws the dumbest interception I've ever seen. I mean, he's staring down A.J. Brown pretty much every damn play, which I get. A.J. is great. Hurts sometimes falls into the same problem as well. But what it does is it allows the linebacker to just coax him into that. Linebacker just runs off, acts like he's going to chase the running back, I believe it was, and then all he does is just slide back, simple pick off, and that was ridiculous by Pickett. This leads to Washington's first score, so now we got a game at this point, so now we know, damn, we're not going to blow them out. It's going to be a game. So now we have a shootout between Kenny Pickett and the rookie Jaden Daniels, which is obviously not the situation we want, because what ends up happening is really, but honestly, I'm gonna keep it to you, keep it real with you here. I did not feel like we would lose the game really until the fourth quarter. Once we got to the fourth quarter, and when I saw this sequence of things happen, I saw A.J. Brown miss a catch that he routinely catches. I saw Saquon Barkley miss the easiest wheel route pass that I've ever seen in my life. And then I see Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, of all people, missed the easiest. I believe it was just a little slant route that I've ever seen him miss. You could bet me $1,000 that Devontae Smith would. I would up you 5,000 that Devontae Smith would never miss a catch like that, right? And he drops it, and that catch was game. At that point, I felt like, okay, you know what? This is just one of those weeks. We're not meant to win this game, and that's kind of like the way it played out. I had no other way to explain that other than a supernatural occurrence. And you know what? I'm not totally upset about it. I'm a little disappointed in Hurts, like not protecting himself. I am concerned. I don't like that. The defense gave up more points than we've pretty much given up all year. But it was just a weird game. I can't totally blame a defense that got you 5 turnovers, okay? And I'm definitely not praising no damn Washington Commanders, all right? You beat fucking Kenny Pickett, right? And a situation where, I mean, it was just a ridiculous game. It was just one of them games. So you're talking about 5 turnovers that the defense was able to cause. So I can't get totally on them. But those shootout games like that, I believe the Philadelphia Eagles, they failed to drain enough clock in that fourth quarter, and that was because our superstars were messing up in ways that I've never seen. So it was like, what are you going to do? What can you think if A.J. Brown's going to drop passes, if Saquon Barkley's going to drop passes, if Devontae Smith is going to drop passes, we can't win. So while Kenny Pickett is trash to me, mediocre, he probably played well enough to win this particular game, and yet we still lost the game. This is what I'll say about these teams in our division. They are all our little children, honestly. Cowboys have been able to look us in the eyes somewhat, at least in division play, but they don't do anything when they get to the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys are my most hated team, right, out of all teams. Them and the Boston Celtics, right? But the Cowboys are my most hated team. The Giants are like the team that I pity probably the most. I kind of like feel sorry for the Giants. They're funny to me. But them Washington Commanders, they have the designation of being the most annoying team in this damn division. I mean, they're just annoying. They're not on our level. They can't really compete for real. But shit seems to go their way. Do you remember that game in 2022? All right, where Jalen Hurts pretty much all year is just playing lights out. Then we play this damn Washington team. They come to Philadelphia and they play their hearts out. I give them credit. I don't even remember who their damn quarterback was. Maybe it was Heineke or something. One of these weird little quarterbacks they have. And like it was a game where the officials are just like missing Dallas Goedert damn near had his whole head ripped off, on a face mask. The officials don't call it. Quez Watkins is just dropping stuff that Jalen Hurts is putting right in his hand. For some reason, the running game is just not right. They're messing up. It was just a ridiculous game. And today, this game reminded me of that. It was just a ridiculous situation and a ridiculous game that almost felt like a supernatural occurrence was happening. Like I swear, if I had a parlay bet that Saquon, if someone told me that, Saquon gonna miss a crucial pass, AJ gonna miss a crucial pass, Devontae gonna miss a crucial pass, Quinyon Mitchell gonna get beat on a simple damn go route, like I would have took that up. You talking about this is the first touchdown he gave up, and it just happened here. He did some slay stuff. Like what do you do? What do I make out this game? Like I gotta just throw it away. Like, I mean, I could just be pissed off and angry and all of that, but at who? At what? I'm going to be mad at Hurts for getting hurt. I'm going to be mad at AJ for dropping passes. I'm going to be mad at Devontae. I'm going to be mad at Saquon. I'm going to be mad at Quinyon. Definitely Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is definitely on my shit list. I'm definitely targeting him because, like, bro, like, I get being hyped. I get being in the game. I get being fired up, but you can't be that damn stupid where once they done gave you a flagrant, you can't get another one. It's not flagrant. I'm basketball. I'm all jigged up. But once you get a personal foul, you just can't get another one, bro. You got to act like a schoolboy after you get that first one. You ain't built like that. You're not Deion Sanders. You're not a guy they're going to keep in there. You're not Ronnie Lott. You're C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And then what happens when C.J. Gardner-Johnson goes out, that number 36 that we put in there instead of Sidney Brown, he's getting cooked all day. He's getting cooked. Now, you can put the last one on Bond, right? You can put the last one on Bond. You can put one on the Kobe Dean somewhat, but the Kobe Dean looked like he was playing second-level linebacker. And then I forget, whoever they passed the damn touchdown to got past the Kobe Dean, and he's in number 36's territory. He's reacting too damn slow. Can't make a damn play on the ball. I don't know what to make of this game. Like, I really don't know what to make of this game. It doesn't inform me anything. Like, I don't fear the Washington Commanders at all. I would actually love to play them in the first round of the playoffs so that we could just stomp them like the roaches that they are. Because that's what they are. They're just annoying little gnats and roaches. All right, let's go into this game here. So Jaden Daniels, his numbers look way better than he actually played, in my view. It's 24, 39, 258. Listen, for a rookie, you got to give him his credit, give him his props. He went through there. I give him props for his poise. He kept playing. He did what he had to do to win, but dude, you're delusional. Well, we don't. Why would we fear you, right? Like, you beat a shootout with Kenny Pickett. All right, what are we talking about? So now the other thing I didn't understand on the part of our defense was why the players weren't targeting Jaden Daniels a little harder. I felt like they were being a little too soft on him when he was running, right? You saw what they did to Hurts. Basically, it was a dirty hit. I don't care what nobody say. You got the one player, you got Jalen going down, the other guy comes in, he targeted him, he did. And it worked for them. That's fine. But my thing is, when Jaden Daniels run, do the same thing to him. That's all. Like, if you wanna get kicked out for that. Don't get kicked out just because you chirping. Get kicked out because you hit the hell out of Jaden Daniels. That's probably the only issue I got with the defense. Don't get into a personal thing. Get into it on the part of your quarterback. You should have felt like that was a dirty hit. It was. Um, so you got that, but I mean, all right. So Daniels then he runs 9 times for 81 yards, which kind of hurt us a lot. You know, there were just key moments where he was converting third downs and stuff like that. Good for him. But their real running game was bottled up. Brian Robinson, 10 carries, 24 yards. Right, Rodriguez Jr. who scared the hell out of him. 3 carries for 5 yards. Um, their wide receivers, McLaurin, 5 catches, 60 yards. Good for you. You finally beat Quinyon Mitchell on a play where he really just had a blown assignment. Honestly, more than anything, because they weren't worried about you running. It was more of a mental thing than he physically beat him. Alameda Zacchaeus, he's trash. 5 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, right? Pretty much picking on number 36 after Chauncey Gardner Johnson goes out. Very important, man. What Nick has to do, he got to really start to reel some of these guys in along with Vic Fangio. You got to have a talk with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, like his craziness we need, but it almost he was on borderline today as far as getting us in trouble with the knucklehead stuff, the 15-yard penalties. We also had a penalty on Milton Williams, which was bullshit. All he did was push Daniels, and that supposedly, they got a foul, penalty for that. Um, what else can we say? I guess I'll talk about our offense a little bit. Kenny Pickett, look, he tried. I give him that. Never really running any reps coming in. That interception was atrocious. But outside of that, Kenny Pickett played well enough for us to possibly win this game. It got into a situation where Saquon Barkley was pretty much bottled up, other than that amazing long touchdown run. And we see the difference. The first thing we see is that the running game with and without Jalen Hurts is completely different. Jalen Hurts' threat to run, to keep, or to give to Saquon it means everything in the world. And when you talk about the value of a quarterback like him, you got to look at that, what he provides also in the running game. Um, when Jalen Hurts was in there, Saquon was completely different running back. Now he got that one run with Kenny Pickett, but that was before Washington had really went into what they were going to do. From then on, they pretty much were stacking the box, 8 men, 7 men, sent an extra rushers. They did everything they could to pretty much bottle up Saquon, as you saw. And in that situation, despite that, the defense was doing what they could do. I mean, now talk about those big plays later. They did what they could do. And I would say, like, Pickett made enough plays to where if our superstar players wouldn't have just, for some reason, have butterfingers or brain fart or whatever the hell they had today, this would have been a dub. This would have been a dub, easy. AJ, 8 catches, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. I guess he's happy with his numbers. But I'm not happy with AJ. He dropped like one joint, I guess, Lattimore. Lattimore ain't nothing but a damn hack. We ain't worried about him. He's a hack. Lattimore, he can't even put one damn hand on AJ. He got to have 2 hands. He holding arms down, he wrapping around. And even the one that was questionable, the long throw, where AJ had his hand in here, Lattimore's so stupid, all he had to do was just put his hands up like that. And they probably wouldn't have called it, or they would have called offensive. But he's so stupid, he's grabbing AJ Brown's arms and pulling them. So they still call it. So all this Lattimore, come on, man. Lattimore damn near lost y'all the game. Then he eventually gets hurt again or whatever. Lattimore comes out. But I wasn't impressed with Lattimore. And he almost lost to Kenny Pickett, dog. Almost lost to Kenny Pickett. Jaden Daniels, I'll say had a good game because he's a rookie. If he was a vet, that'll just, I mean, I get it, the 5 touchdowns. That I ain't gonna take that from him. But them two he threw 2 atrocious picks too. Testing things and all of that. So, good job for them. But like, please. Jonathan Harvey, Eagles staff must neglect creativity, must create an offense without Hurts, knowing an injury or some other thing will happen. Why would you say that? You talking like he's Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts has missed in 4 years about 2 games. So I don't think you have to create an offense knowing some injury is going to happen. Why would they know an injury is going to happen? This is the third game he's missed in 4 or 5 years. Now if he's Joe Burrow who's missed 2 whole seasons, then yeah. Or if you're like some of these other quarterbacks, but no, no. Now I get it, he runs, but honestly, he's not hurting. And really, if this was the playoffs, I don't think he comes out this game. I think they go with him. I think they called probably from the NFL office who demanded that he take him out, and the reason is because in the first game against the Commanders, I believe he was concussed then, but he played through it. He was able to perform well enough to beat the protocol that they had. Um, but they probably were told, okay, you beat the protocol that time. If something happens in this game, he's coming out. I believe that's what happened. You said offense not saying we're run game without Hurts. Yeah, exactly. But that has nothing to do with the offense that we run. That has to do with the fact that the defense didn't trust Kenny Pickett. That's what I meant by that. They didn't trust Pickett. And the proof they don't trust him, they just load in the box with no respect for the passing game. That's what I meant by that. Not talking about the style of the running game. Because they do have it in the offense. Everything that the Eagles do is not RPO. Some of it is under center. Some of it is definitely just classic shotgun offense and stuff like that. What they're trying to implement now is the more of a West Coast system. That's what Kellen Moore brings. So. But when I was talking specifically about the part of the run game that helps is the RPO game because Jalen Hurts is a threat to run. But you could do that without Hurts being a threat to run if your quarterback is, lighting it up in the passing game. And the Kenny Pickett, they pretty much said we'll just have to let Kenny Pickett beat us. We'll have to let Kenny Pickett beat us for not letting Saquon beat us. If that makes sense. That's what I was saying there. But this is like not good. I mean, no loss is good. Now with the standings, Minnesota and Detroit winning, which means we're more than likely, almost certain, to have to go on the road in the playoffs. Right now, I don't even know if we'll end up with the 2 seed necessarily. I think we're likely to get it, I guess. I gotta search and check how all of that works. But I guess what we're hoping now is that we go on the road against a team that will beat. The good thing about the Eagles are a very good road team. We actually beat Baltimore on the road. We beat a lot of tough teams, the Rams, a lot of tougher teams that we played were on the road. So I'm not like afraid of the road. It's just that I just love the idea of having to play both divisional round and a championship game in Philadelphia. That's almost a shoe-in to make the Super Bowl as far as I'm concerned. Because no team we're going to face in the playoffs really has a great defense. Well, Minnesota possibly. Minnesota has a defense I respect. But you look at Detroit, I think Detroit would have to score 40 points to beat us. Tampa Bay, I'm not worried about. The Falcons, I don't know if they make it or not. I'm not worried about them. Damn sure not worried about the Commanders. But looking at our chops to play the Commanders in the playoffs, that's not an issue. I'm not deceived by what happened in this game. This game was goofy. Talking about 5 turnovers and you still lose. It was a goofball game. And I ain't got much more to really say about that. Definitely annoyed. Like I said, just briefly, I put most of the blame on Hurts for not protecting himself. He stays healthy, he stays in the game. I think this is an easy win, to be honest with you. Maybe the Commanders make some little run, but they're not stopping us from grounding the clock down and stuff like that with Jalen Hurts. And I believe ultimately Hurts would have gotten his passing game going once he would have got them out of the looks they were giving him. He's historically lit up the Commanders pretty much through the air. And no reason to believe that would not have happened today. So I put most of the blame on his shoulders. The defense could have played better. Things pretty much went haywire once Chauncey Gardner-Johnson went out. Both touchdowns was pretty much to his area. You know, Tampa is team Eagles must void according to past results. Jalen was careless today. I don't agree with. I don't agree with that either. Um, unless we face them, in Tampa Bay. Number one, number two, unless we face them without AJ Brown, without Devontae Smith, because you got to remember we did play Tampa last year as well. And we beat them pretty handily last year. If you're talking about the 2021, if you think that matters, where we lose to them with Jonathan Gannon playing with defense, we didn't have Jalen Carter, didn't have, it was a completely different team in 2021. And then earlier this year, you didn't have AJ Brown, didn't have Devontae Smith in the game. So Tampa, I'm not concerned with Tampa. Yeah, Hurts has to be smarter. Yeah. If he runs, he has to slide down or he has to get out of bounds. Yeah. And that's a stupid name, by the way. I wouldn't keep that name. But that's what Jalen Hurts has to do. If he runs, he has to get out of bounds or he has to slide. If he's in there, we win. If he's not there, we lose. That's pretty much the one constant with this Eagle team. When he plays, we win. He doesn't, we lose. All right, so pretty much that's all I got today, man. Appreciate everybody who came through. But I ain't got much more to say. This was disappointing on a number of different levels. It was pretty much disappointing on a number of levels. And tomorrow we'll be back going live to break it down a little bit more thoroughly. Right now, I ain't not even doing all that. So I'll get with y'all later, man. And peace out.